I'm Samantha Randolph. I'm with Goodwill Career Connections. I'm here today with Marcus Laws from Homeward. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Marcus, can you describe some of the services that Homeward Bound offers?
Homeward Bound offers a myriad of services. So we have A Hope, our day center, which is located at 19 Ann Street in downtown Asheville. And at that location, we provide services where anyone experiencing homelessness can come in and have their mail sent there. They can check their mail. They can get a meal if they need. We have hot showers and restrooms that they're able to use. We have case management services that help them get connected with housing resources. We also have our outreach team who goes into the community to find those who are experiencing homelessness, and they bring those services to them, invite them over to A Hope, and offer them an opportunity to engage with the community if they would like to do so. Our coordinated entry team is also housed at A Hope, and they are responsible for making sure that anyone who would like to be housed is connected to the appropriate housing services, and they maintain a list of individuals who we are currently working with towards housing. On top of those services, we also have veterans housing services as well as permanent supportive housing.
Wow, that's quite a list.
Yes.
And I know every single one of those is needed.
Very much so. Very much so.
So you mentioned the facility is a place people could get their mail.
Yes.
That's really great. I say that because when people fill out job applications and they don't have an address to put on there, sometimes that can be a barrier because you can't submit a job application without a address on it. It'll give you an error.
Right.
So knowing that that's like a place they could put their mailing address is a additional excellent benefit.
Yes. Yes. And we're gearing up to be able to, have that be something that we can introduce to the folks that we work with as well. We like to call them our community members so that they, understand they're part of a community and that they feel whole and part of themselves and part of us as we continue to work with them. So that's definitely the kind of feel that we want them to have.
Mm-hmm. And that matters so much. For anyone who has been without a home or hasn't had a stable home, the amount of shame that is sometimes put on them for circumstances that are often beyond their control is significant.
Right.
And just having a space where they can feel comfortable and feel not ostracized or judged just because they don't have a piece of wood over their head.
Right. Right. And it's definitely a feeling of isolation.
Mm-hmm.
So A Hope is that place where they can come and, feel the sense of community, not be isolated, not be judged. And not feel condemned. And that is how we tend to operate. We definitely want to continue to show them respect, let them know that they are cared and loved,
Mm-hmm.
or cared for and loved, and, that we will provide for them as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. What are some of the barriers or challenges to meeting those missions?
Money is always the biggest one. You need to be able to, you want to be able to find housing for folks. And that comes at a price. Affordable housing is a big barrier, not only in this community, but in multiple communities. The employment piece, making sure that they have income is another barrier. A lot of times, without being able to pay those bills or, say someone is on Social Security benefits, it's not going to pay them an income that's sustainable for them to live in today's rental market. So that is an additional barrier. Sometimes it's criminal records. Sometimes it is substance use when someone is in the throes of addiction and may not be at a point where they're ready to control it or ready to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
That is an additional barrier that comes about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I know, we have similar participants who are struggling with similar issues. And sometimes when they come in, they're very motivated. We help them. They leave for a time and then they come back, whether it's because of a relapse or life circumstances have changed. It's like they come in and they're expecting someone to yell at them or chastise them for not having a straight progress. And I can imagine that some of your own participants too are probably, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And
Right.
It's usually more of a squiggly situation.
Right. But that's what life is a
Yeah.
squiggly situation.
Right,
So, that's one of the encouragement pieces that we have is don't expect everything to go the
Mhm.
way that you want it. And we plan around that and we work with them when things do go left, we are that support for them to help keep them on track, to remind them that there are better things, and to remind them, still who they are as a person, and that you don't lose value because you make a mistake.
Absolutely. And reminding them of the resiliency that they've already seen and shown through life.
Exactly.
And that's something they can always tap back into.
Right. I like to tell them, a weak person can't do what you're having to do right now. And being able to go through that type of situation where you're constantly in fight or flight mode, and you're wondering where your next meal is going to come from, but you're able to make it from day to day. It takes a very strong person to go through that. Absolutely.
What is something that you wish other people knew about your organization or your participants that they tend not to know?
As far as the organization, I would hope that they know that we are doing the work that we are inspired to do, that we love the community, and because we love the community, we want to see those who are hurting the most, and those who are most vulnerable succeed. And as far as what we would like for them to know about those we serve is that those are somebody's kids. And if it was your kid, how would you feel about it, and how would you want them treated? Would you want them to be looked down upon, or would you want somebody to take the time, the care, and the attention to show them a better way?
Absolutely. And can you share a time where you have seen this mission in action, where you've seen someone's life change or the community change because of your services?
I think I see it every single day. I have a very strong team of folks that work with our community members. And when I see a smile on somebody's face instead of coming in with a negative attitude, I know that's a change. When somebody gets a job, we just had someone on last week that got a job and wanted to do a resume so he could go and get another job. So that is a success. Watching somebody take medication for a mental health disorder, that is a success. The ultimate success for us is watching somebody get housed and remain housed. And we have a structure of individuals and workers who make that mission happen.
And I love how you describe that, because you're clearly celebrating all of the successes. Sometimes people come in and they're like, well, I did 5 job applications, but I didn't get a job.
Right.
It's like, but you still did 5 job applications.
Right. And the energy and the time it takes to do that is that dedication it takes to see your life change.
Exactly. Yeah, like every bit of that is a success.
Right.
Like we're still aiming, we're still growing, but never discount what you've already done up to this point.
Correct.
Yeah. So what can other organizations do to help yours?
We want partnership, plainly and simply. We're spending our time. We're going out. We're trying to see who wants to do this work with us. What resources do we have that you might be able to utilize? What resources do you have that we might be able to utilize? And how do we make it work in connection so that we get a better result? Because it has to be a community effort, and we have to build a community around these folks who are generally dispelled from what we all know is something that drives us to want to do better and drives us to be better. So partnership really is it. I think that's the only way that we can actually continue our mission and build out capacity to see better things happen for these folks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those building blocks of community.
Right.
As things have opened up and we've gone to more like resource job fairs, like Stand Down last week and other ones, I've gotten a sense from every organization I've talked to that desire to build back that community that COVID took away from us a little bit, and make sure that people remember we're here to help, and we're trying to do this collectively. If one resource doesn't have what you need, they'll help you find the resource that does, and we'll all be in this, ideally together in a way to help everyone succeed, whatever that looks like for them.
Yeah, and I believe we can do it. I always liken it to starting fires, and we get together, and I might not have a resource, but if I connect with you, we light a little fire there, we light a little fire there, and eventually we have a big bonfire going on, but everybody that's around that bonfire is going to be warm. And I think that's...
And we get the s'mores out.
Right. And I think that's what Asheville has always been to me, and that's what I would like to see Asheville be again, is that place of community where everybody is welcomed, where everybody has an opportunity to learn and grow and thrive and survive and be better one day versus the next.
Yeah, and that better tomorrow.
Right,
Taking what you're doing now and trying to get that better tomorrow.
Exactly.
So for my final question, how can participants reach your organization?
Well, you can find homeless services over at 19 North Ann Street. They can call me directly. My number, if I can remember it right,
Or do you want your
is 828-768-2067, I believe that is.
2670.
2670. Okay. 828-768-2670. Right. And our administrative offices are at 37 Montford Avenue in Asheville. So all downtown. And you can go to our Montford location if there's any donations that somebody would like to make. You can talk to Miss Eleanor Ashton. She's a great woman. And, like I said, just reach out to us. Well, we're looking for partnership. We're looking to help any way that we can, any way that makes the community better.
Well, thank you, Marcus, so much for being here today.
And thank you for having me.